Welcome to Innovate presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Today we're delighted to have our guest, Uri Yudewitz, who is the Vice President of Business Development at the CH Group. Uri, thanks for joining us today. Could you please start by introducing yourself and give us a bit of insights on your tech background and your expertise?
100%. Bob, again, thank you so much for having me here. And
My
so again,
pleasure.
I'm honored to be the Vice President of Business Development for CH Group. We're an international conglomerate that's doing a lot of different and interesting, unique things in the business world, primarily focused on five channels. We are distributing products and services from Western businesses into the Islamic markets and vice versa. And that's primarily where we start. Our tagline is that we build bridges between Western business and Islamic culture. That's where we like to play. And so we have a distribution division bringing products and services in 8 different economic sectors into the GCC MENA region and the OIC countries. So that includes areas such as food and beverage, finance, technology and insurance, cosmetics, fashion, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, travel and tourism, and media and entertainment. We have a partnership division which looks at strategic opportunities with great operators who bring their operations, their know-how, their expertise, and we set up a joint venture in our region, in the GCC or MENA region, strategic to bring manufacturing, to build jobs, to diversify local economies, and to grow and scale. And we bring all of the other components to the table. So in addition to their operations and their know-how and their skill, we bring the local market, we bring the local partners, facilitate regulatory approvals, benefits and incentive programs, and ensure that the program is financed. We have a financing platform, we have a certification division, which I'm sure we'll talk about as we go as well, and we have a nonprofit. And so we're really focused on building those bridges between Western business and Islamic culture to enhance product offerings, to grow access and accessibility of products and services in both ways, and to build a more harmonious world through business collaboration.
Pretty amazing. Vast variety of product and divisions. Let's start with your experience in legal tech and technology startups. How did that shape your journey into the business development world?
Great question. So early in my career, I was working for a law firm and sort of helping with some business development, but mostly operational type responsibilities for the firm. I'm not an attorney by trade. I did take the LSATs. I did okay, but I did not want to be an attorney. Nothing against attorneys. Wasn't the right career for me. And so I was working for a firm, and we had the opportunity to build some new technology at a very interesting time in the landscape. And so we built the first of its kind lean search platform in Florida, servicing the entire state of Florida during the economic downturn of 2008, 2009, where properties, it wasn't clear if properties had clean title. And so we built a technology that gathered all of the information necessary to understand, code violations, liens and estoppels, all of that information needed to be gathered from municipalities and homeowners associations. And so we built from scratch a technology to be able to gather all of that information and allow the buyer and the seller and the bank, in many cases, to see that information. We then spun off that company, used the same technology to build a notary database that was handling signing services for closings, for title work, et cetera, throughout the country. We had a database of about 5,000 notaries, and I was running that company. And so I got the startup bug. I got the real itch to continue to build things from scratch, or to take things that had already been built and improve upon them, bring in the right partners, bring in the capital, bring in the resources that would help a company scale and grow. And so from that, that's informed how I've looked at business development and scaling companies, having seen many that we built from scratch. Those were specific to the legal tech space, but being able to be part of the excitement of growth and seeing a company go from idea on a napkin to real excitement and building a team, adding people, leveraging new ideas, finding partnerships, learning things you didn't know about, all of that's just super fun for me.
Very insightful, extremely inspiring also. As someone who played a key role in Spring Big's growth from its early stages, what strategies did you employ to scale a company to the largest of its kind?
Yeah, so Spring Big was a unique opportunity for me as well. I came in to a team that was going through a transition, and I came in as employee number three with the idea of revamping everything that had been done to that point and figuring out some new solutions. So we found some pretty creative ways to scale and grow. It was an exciting time to be in the loyalty space and to be in the technology space. At that time, certainly here in Boca Raton, where I reside, there
Hmm.
were numerous articles indicating that Boca Raton was ready to be what they wanted to call Silicon Beach. That's where they wanted to go. They thought they'd be the next like Silicon Valley, but it would be on the beach. And so there
Hmm.
was a lot of excitement and energy around technology companies that were coming into the area. That's now certainly become a reality. South Florida, not just Boca, but all of South Florida has become,
Miami, yeah.
and yeah, Miami, all the way from the Keys, literally most of the state. Tampa has a very robust startup community. Orlando is growing,
Hmm.
and certainly the three counties down here in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade have certainly grown in that regard. And so with Spring Big, we were able to employ some unique strategies at the time to grow the business. As an example, we had just started using a new pipeline development software similar to Salesforce. And as we were growing that, we were able to through an API overnight add 80,000 leads into our database.
Wow.
And those leads fit perfectly for what we were trying to do. The best part, it cost us nothing. It was all through an API. And now we had leads that were specific to our sales pitch, that were cultivated specifically to what we were trying to do. And those kind of stories are phenomenal when you can, take a technology, employ it in a new strategy, and be able to scale your business in a cost efficient way was really awesome for us.
Amazing. I mean, you pretty much fit the title of the show, entrepreneurs in tech,
Yeah.
and you're a big startup. I would say I would say extremely passionate about startups. As you said, you got the startup bug in you. I'm surprised you went and worked for CH Group, which is one of the biggest out there. But what motivated you to actually go transition from being independent entrepreneur to join CH Group?
Great question. Sometimes you come across an opportunity in your life and you say, is this really what it could be? Is this really an opportunity that I could pass up, or do I take this opportunity? And so when the opportunity with CH Group was presented to me, I said I could continue to go out on my own, which was going well,
Hmm.
and be independent, or I could work on something that I knew would be the biggest potential opportunity in my life. The opportunity to, and I looked at it from two perspectives. One is there's a huge business opportunity. The Muslim population on the planet is about 2 billion people. 95% of the people on of the Muslim population, of the halal lifestyle consumers,
Hmm.
follow the religious leaders on our council. And so when we looked at all 8 economic sectors, so you've got food and beverage, finance, technology and insurance, cosmetics, fashion, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, travel and tourism, and media and entertainment, all
Hmm.
of those areas to provide business and opportunities in each of those sectors to the 2 billion plus Muslim consumers on the planet. That comes out, and I know you'll hear this a lot. Entrepreneurs like to tell you what their TAM is, right? What their total addressable market is. And so
Hmm.
you'll have businesses that will tell you their total addressable market is $25 billion. And then when you look at it, it's maybe more like, a billion or 2 billion, which is nothing to sneeze at, but that's the total addressable market of which you're going to try to go out and get 5%, 10%, whatever it may
Hmm.
be. When we looked at the total addressable market for the Islamic population, for the halal lifestyle consumer globally, amongst all 8 economic sectors, it comes out to $10 trillion. That's not a number to sneeze at.
$10 trillion.
$10 trillion.
It's not a joke.
It's
It's
not a
not a
joke.
joke.
And
No.
and what we know is that 60% of the population is 30 and under. And so there's an
Yeah.
appetite for new technologies, new innovations, new ideas that can be delivered and tailored to those communities. And so
Hmm.
so the business perspective for me was too big to pass up. But the thing that was even more interesting and exciting for me was the ability to build these bridges, was the ability to say, how do we connect what's going on in the Middle East, in the GCC region, in some of these countries that we can bring into and build bridges with Western population through business, through collaboration, through partnership, through interaction to build these bridges both culturally and socially and from a business perspective. That's really what spoke to me. And it represents an opportunity that has opened incredible doors for me personally, but also for our business in terms of things that initially I didn't even think would potentially be on the table, or deal flow and opportunities that now have opened up as the result of things that we've brought to the table and our unique position in the marketplace.
Mhm. I mean, how do you approach or identifying and pursuing new business opportunities across diverse sectors? Let's talk about healthcare and finance.
Great. So with healthcare, what we look for are things that are unique and value add. We always want to find things that we can bring into the marketplace that have
Hmm.
something is it higher quality? Is there some unique intellectual property that that company or those products provide that's different than what's currently in the marketplace? We've done everything from the mundane, everyday run-of-the-mill vanilla type of products like syringes and catheters. But those
Hmm.
products that we've brought to the market have something unique about them. So we have a nerve blocking catheter. So that's IP protected. It's a little bit different than what else is on the market. We have supplements and products in the healthcare space that the formulation is a little bit better. It's cleaner, it's healthier, it's more ethical. And just to remove the mystique around this for your audience, when I say halal, halal means wholesome, ethical, and quality. Most people, I think, in the US are familiar with kosher as a concept. Kosher
Correct.
means fit for consumption for the Jewish
Yeah.
population, of which
Yes.
there's about 5 million people that keep to those kosher dietary laws. Halal is the
Correct.
same thing. It's fit for consumption for the
Hmm.
Islamic consumer, but it's a halal lifestyle choice, which means wholesome, ethical, and quality
Well, if
lifestyle.
you lived in New York, you'll see both. When you're
Yes,
walking down the street, whether you're in Brooklyn, Queens, New York, Long Island, you'll see both. You'll see the halal store, you'll see the kosher store, product in the stores. It's part of day-to-day life in New York, and
yeah,
probably Florida also. I think in Boca and some other parts of Florida.
100%. We just want
Yes.
to provide the same access that's
Hmm.
available to kosher consumers everywhere. Anywhere you go, any
Correct.
supermarket, you can walk down every aisle and see hundreds, if not thousands, of products that are available that are
Hmm.
kosher. And we want to provide the same access to the halal lifestyle consumer here in the U.S. and internationally as well. That's so to answer your question on the healthcare side. That's what we look for: is innovative, unique, value add, quality, something that's going to be a notch above what's currently in the marketplace overseas, or really innovative. We've worked with stem cell technologies. We've worked with some really interesting collaborative
Stem
partners.
cells, something I'm pretty much extremely obsessed with. Stem cell technology, really extremely impressive, man. I'm obsessed with it. I'm really am.
Yeah, so we've worked with stem cell technologies, which we're excited about. We've worked with exoceuticals. We've worked with we have an interesting company that has a unique twist on a pacemaker, IP driven as well, and that's what we're looking at in the healthcare space. Technology is much more broad, and so we look at it from the same perspective. Is this something that's innovative, cutting edge, unique, that will be excited, that the market that we're going to bring it into is going to be excited to have as part of what their offerings are. And that could be, again, in any of these particular areas.
I mean, you pretty much mentioned all the product and the areas, and that divisions that you guys work with and you're involved with. Anything else that really kind of recent, I would say, innovative product that you spearheaded that has significant contribution to CH Group's growth?
Yeah, we're involved in a number of initiatives. I do want to kind of touch upon two of the things that we're doing on the foundation side, on our nonprofit side, because I think that they're very valuable and worth mentioning here as well. So because we're involved in so many initiatives and partnerships at a very high level throughout the region, it gives us unique opportunities to do really cool stuff. So two of the things that we're now focused on the nonprofit side is we've created a daily nutrition program with one of our U.S. based supplements manufacturers. We've cultivated a formulation for a daily nutrition pill, chewable, has everything that one would need in terms of nutrients for daily health. So vitamin B, vitamin C, folic acid, all of those items. It
In
doesn't
one pill.
replace in one pill. It doesn't replace a meal, but it provides you all of these nutrients, which often people who are going through hunger, starvation, are lacking. Those can create by not having those nutrients can create other health issues as they get older. And so we're very proud to have a program that has this daily nutrition pill. It's chewable, so it's suitable for 3 years old and up. And we're going to be providing that a daily pill for an entire year to 5 million children throughout the Middle East as an
Wow.
ecumenical program. Where it's not a religious program, it's not a political program. It's intended to provide this health benefit to those children that are in need. And so we're very excited about and to be able to provide that program. We're cultivating another program centered around education that we're very excited about as well. And so those initiatives have opened doors to unique partners and other technologies and providers who want to jump on, who want to be a part of it to help make sure that we can distribute and supply those items throughout the region.
Are you guys involved in AI technology, also in different parts of the world?
Yes, here's what I'll say about AI. I think you could, if you had a box of, I don't want to name a brand, but let me just say cookies. If you had a box of cookies in the supermarket, they're all going to start slapping a label on it that says, now with AI. That's the new trend. Everybody's jumping on. Everybody's using it in some capacity. I had a conversation today with someone.
It's absolutely correct. Yes.
Everybody's now with AI. This jacket, now with AI. These headphones, now with AI. And the truth of the matter is that there is there's a kernel of truth to that there is AI being implemented and used to enhance some of the things that we do, and that there are other things that are, this pen now with AI is not really such an accurate statement. But everybody's jumping on that trend. It's the latest trend, and rightfully so. We want to see where it's going to go. I'm a big proponent of AI. I will tell you that earlier today, it was agreed upon in a phone call that if we each used ChatGPT, if we took our prompts and put them into ChatGPT, we could figure out how to tell the joke that we were trying to figure out in the best possible way, right? We couldn't figure out exactly what's the punchline. We were having a conversation amongst friends,
Yes.
and we couldn't quite figure out what's the best way. And they said if we each put this into ChatGPT, we'd figure out exactly what the best joke is, and we'd go with that. That would be the winner who would then buy lunch for everybody. That was the conversation we were having. But AI is for sure a big component of everything that we're doing. We're involved in certain foundational blockchain technologies, which is obviously a big trend now as well. And so we see that as the future. We want to be safe with how we use AI. We want to be smart with how AI is deployed, but it's also unavoidable. It's going to be something that's included in many of the day-to-day aspects of our lives. So we're involved in a number of technologies that we think will be revolutionary as part of that AI evolution into the region.
Amazing. As someone who deeply involved in entrepreneurial communities, with the startups and all of that, what advice you would give to aspiring business developers and startup founders?
I love this question. So business development is all about intestinal fortitude. How strong can you be? How can you push through? How can you allow the universe that's around you? Because the universe is going to beat you down, right?
Correct.
And you'll get support from people. So it's how do you listen to the right messages that are out there? When is the right time to pivot? When should we be focused on growth? When should we be focused on capital? Where should we spend our energy? How do we build a community around us? My one piece of advice for business developers really is around community. The more you can build and develop your community, the better off that you will be. It's lonely out there for entrepreneurs. It's lonely out there for business developers. Nobody sits in the seat that you're in. So to surround yourself with the right community who are going to support you, who can open up
Yes.
their network, who can open up doors and provide access for you to the things that you need, and whatever that may be, right? That might be a shoulder to cry on today, and it might be somebody to go celebrate with tomorrow. And so the ability to surround yourself with the right community and to cultivate that and build that and invest in it in a way that's meaningful, I think is my one piece of advice for business developers. There are other people out there who are selling things that have no relevance to what you're doing, but their experience may be valuable to you. And there are people who have limited experience, but you show them a little bit of kindness and they've got a network that they can open their doors to. That's my one piece of advice. And for entrepreneurs, I think it's the same thing. The world is a big place. Most businesses are not, they're not a success or a failure based on one business deal. Very rare that that's the case. Tomorrow is another day. There's always another opportunity. There are more people to meet. There are more ways to expand and grow your business. So to be open and accessible to the information, the knowledge, the community, the world that's out there, and to look at it like to be an open door to those kinds of things.
Well received. I'm sure our viewers and listeners will really be appreciative of your advice and your inside information. How do you balance your strategic vision and CH Group with the day-to-day challenges? Executing business development plans and so forth.
Good question. Everything that we do is strategic and top down. So it once I understood this a few short years ago, once I understood this, it was a shift in my mentality. Nothing we do is going to happen overnight. We have buy-in from partners. We have relationships that are across years and decades, and we're very strategic in everything that we do. So we often, with new partners, take what we like to call a crawl, walk, run approach. We're going to start slow. Let's dip our toes in the water together. Let's get comfortable with how we work. We don't work with any jerks. We have we've got to be friends. We've got to be able to collaborate and like working together. That's one of our core principles. And so when we like working together, we start to see over time, this is how you work, this is how responsive you are, this is how responsive we are. And we know pretty early on who are going to be the most successful partners. Are they fitting within our model? Are we fitting it within their structure? Do the puzzle pieces connect? We get to know that pretty early on, and that helps us move those projects along. So everything is strategic. We know these things take time. We're involved in a number of real estate projects overseas that will be completed in 4 or 5 years down the road. But there's still work to be done today. It doesn't mean just kick the can. It means that we've got to take the incremental steps every single day to continue to move that project down the road and move all of our projects down the road. So as I like to say, and I tell people, I operate as Grand Central Station for our business. All the trains come in through my station, all the trains exit through my station. Everything has to come through me from a supplier perspective, a partner perspective, regulatory, paperwork, all of that stuff funnels through me. And so some things can happen quickly, but what we know is that everything is strategic. Things may take time. We're committed to building and growing and working with all of our partners to make sure that we're a success together. And so every day requires a little bit of attention, or every week for each relationship. And that helps us maintain the strategic vision while also moving every project forward.
Interesting. I understand that partnerships and collaboration plays a big role in the CH Group strategy. How do you ensure these relationship is mutually beneficial?
Great question. We are so keenly focused on making sure that the partners that we bring to the table are not just aligned from a personality standpoint, but aligned from a mission and incentive standpoint as well. It's very important that if we look at a partnership or a deal, they could look like the right kind of partner on paper, but if our incentives aren't aligned, if our mission isn't aligned, it's not going to work out. Those are the three things we need: personality, mission, and incentive. So personality, I'm a fun-loving guy. I like to have a good time. We want to make sure that our partners are good business people. They're quality, ethical, wholesome, same as halal. we want to make sure that they're in that space and that we can, be aligned in how we do business together, but also that our personalities are aligned. It's okay for us to have a little bit of fun. It's okay for us to joke around. When it's time to do business, we can do business. When it's time to break bread, we can do that. That's all important to us from a personality perspective. From a
Hmm.
mission perspective, we want to make sure that we're aligned in what our mission is. If we're working together on a business opportunity, then that's the mission. If we have multiple initiatives that we're working on, such as with partners where we're doing stuff on the nonprofit side, where we're building a facility together, and we've got distribution that's taking place, that's great. We just have to be clear and articulate about all of the different areas that we're working together and focus on those missions at the same time in the right order. And then from an incentives perspective, this is the most crucial because if our incentives aren't aligned, we're not going to be pushing and rowing together in the same direction. So what do I mean
Hmm.
here? We work with a number of startups. We're happy to work with startups. Typically, we look for companies that are at a commercial stage. They already have products, they're ready to go.
Hmm.
They're looking to scale internationally. So we want to be their international scale partner into the GCC MENA region. Those are our regions. So if you're from Latin America and you're moving into the US, you're breaking into the US market, great, continue to do that, and we'll help you in our markets. But don't come to us for things that are not part of that incentive, that aren't aligned with what our mission or strategic objective is. So you can be raising capital. That's great. Your company needs capital to scale. You're at a Series A, let's say. We're not going to be your partner to do that. And so we're very aligned on that. So if you're looking to us to raise that capital for you as part of the deal, that's not what we do. That's not our interest in taking your technology or products and services and bringing them into our markets. When our incentives are aligned, the missions are aligned, the personalities are aligned, that's when we can really grow and we find the most success.
Could you elaborate on the importance of sustainability and social impact within the CH Group's business objectives?
Beautiful. Sustainability is really, really important to us. Many of the countries that we work in are looking to diversify their economies. They're looking to grow their local job market. They're looking to do things that are not, short term, grab a quick buck. There's nothing that we do that is about making a dollar today. It's all about long term objectives. And part of that is certainly the sustainability of the planet. So when we look for products and services to bring into the region, one of our focuses is especially on sustainability. Is this a product that's better than what's in the marketplace because it's using less plastic, or it's something that's safer for the environment, or it's something that can scale and grow over time with less harm to the planet? And so that is a focus of ours. We look for those kinds of products, and we look for those kinds of partnerships in the same way that can be scaled sustainably. That works in a number of different areas, certainly when it comes to real estate and when it comes to some of the infrastructure projects that we're looking at. We think that that's a key component of what not only us, but our partners overseas as well, what's really important in terms of being able to have a planet that is healthy, that's sustainable, that we can grow together in a healthy and meaningful way.
Looking ahead, what trends you foresee shaping the future in business development, particularly in the sectors CH Group operates in?
I love this question. So I see the world, and this is very much where we're going. The world is getting smaller and smaller. It becomes
Mhm.
so much easier now from a business development standpoint to use technology, to use free technology and free resources that are out there to to find the puzzle pieces you need to connect with. So if you're a business developer and you're in Australia, let's say, and you want to go find companies that import into the GCC region or into the US markets, you can go on LinkedIn, you can join communities online, you can find all of this information is available. The world gets smaller and smaller, and the information is more readily available. As that happens, it does something to the marketplace, right? It creates more choice, more access, more collaboration points, more people who are able to connect and make these things move quicker. I'll give you an example. I was at a conference last week, an expo in the medical space. There were about 1,300 exhibitors that were there. And
Wow.
so I met up with a friend at the beginning of the expo, actually the night before. And we were just talking, and I told them, here are the kind of businesses that we're looking for. I don't know that I'll get to see all 1,300 exhibitors at this event. Here's what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? Let's walk the show and sort of divide and conquer. And so we did. And so, my friend sent me a text at 11:30 on the first day of the show. Hey, I'm at booth number 53. You got to meet these guys. They're amazing. It's going to be great for CH Group. And I was like, phenomenal, great. I came over, we had a wonderful conversation, and now we're starting the process with that company. So
amazing.
Business development is going to change in this way where, in the US, it's very much, for at least in the state of Florida, right? You can pay the Department of Corporations a fee, and now you've got an LLC, you've got your business. You can go on TikTok and set up a TikTok channel, or go on YouTube and set up your YouTube channel, and now you've got a business for a very small fee. That's not the way it works in the rest of the world, right? In our region, everything is top down. It's not so easy to do it, to start a company and do all of those things. But with business development, with the right partnerships and networks, it becomes a lot easier to accelerate and scale businesses through resources that are readily available. And I think that continues to contract and get easier and easier for people to take advantage of those opportunities that are out there if their eyes and ears are open.
Extremely insightful, really extremely insightful, and I appreciate your time with us. Anything to look out for in the next month or two? Any new product, any new ventures that you involve in, or CH Group kind of going to bring into the market that you would like to mention before we say goodbye to our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, I love this question, and I wish I could disclose more publicly about some of the things that we're working on. I'll just tell your audience, your listeners, to go to chgroup.us.com. You can see all the information about us there. Certainly happy to provide my contact information to listeners who have questions or who want to learn more about our certification division, about our distribution division, about everything that we do. I'm happy to have those one-on-one conversations or to share more information with your audience. Certainly happy to do that. And I think you'll start to see over the course of the next couple of months, we'll have some announcements that we can make that will be pretty exciting to your listeners and on the global stage as well.
Amazing. If somebody want to reach out to you, if you don't mind, how would they can reach out to you? Through LinkedIn, or you want to give out a certain email or information online?
Yeah, LinkedIn is a great place to start, certainly. It's Uri, Uri Yudewitz, Yudewitz. I don't think there are so many other Uri Yudewitzes that are on LinkedIn, so you'll find me, and I'm there. That's a good place to start, absolutely. And I'm pretty active, so I try to respond as quickly as possible on LinkedIn. Find me there, and certainly happy to continue the conversation or answer questions for your audience. And I just again, Bob, I really want to thank you for the time today and the conversation. It was enjoyable. Hopefully your audience got something out of it, and really thank you so much again.
Uri, definitely thank you again for joining us today, and really pleasure having you, and thank you for taking the time. Again, Innovate presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Be sure to connect with us on social media. Until next time, keep innovating and stay curious, please, and take care. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share. Innovate presents Entrepreneurs in Tech podcast. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.